I can tell by your helmet that you sprung for the premium edition. Let me check how much I made from licensing my likeness for that promotion. All right, I got nothing.
Business is always good when a war's on. What do you need this time? Those hoople heads. First they botched their work up here, now the Grove. If there were medals for incompetence, they'd be well decorated. Well, I thank you for helping them out. Sorry you had to go out of your way. Good eye. Oh, I'd say they're better than nice. Got more armor than a hammerclaw, but better flight handling than the old clunkers we used to stock. If things had turned out differently, it might be someone else standing here. While I'd be off piloting one of those beauties. You got your wires crossed. Dropship piloting's one of the safest jobs in Auntie's choice, according to Auntie's survey on career safety. Ranks high in satisfaction, too. And anyway, I don't recall asking for your opinion, so maybe we best get back to it.
I must say, I have many reservations about this. The Protectorate has always provided for us. For what reason would we forsake such a stable and safe way?
Because, friend, with the Protectorate, you're almost surviving. With Aunties, you'll be thriving.
So your superiors order you to thrive?
No. It's just something you can do on your own. You'll have bosses and employers, but it's up to you to get yourself to the top and make yourself the employer.
I see. And why would I want to do such a thing? Surely my assigned place would provide me with all the necessities of life?
Yes. But you could have more necessities, and even some unnecessaries.
For what reason would I desire material possessions which are, by definition, unnecessary? And while we're on the topic, what are you potentially gaining from recruiting?
That's one of the best parts, John. When you sign someone else up, you get a big bonus.
I see. This free market idea. Seemingly not without that.
Outsider.
Prudence dictates we cherish all we have.
Requested assistance unavailable.
I'll take fighting raps over living in a surveillance state any day.
Not ready. Please try again later.
How are you still upright over there?
Today's subject is on. Hey you! Get over here before you get yourself killed.
got ourselves a hero. This ought to be good.
Things take time, Commander.
Standing by. Mind the needles.
Slow, Commander. Dumbass. Hey, got a distraction for you.
highly classified information
Would be of interest to Minister Milverstreet.
No offense to Val, but it's real nice having someone watching my back who ain't in constant need of recalibration. Anyway, need something, Commander? It was less merger and more hostile takeover. I don't have all the details, but it sounds like Spacer's Choice tried to outmaneuver Auntie Cleo through quasi-legal means and got a hell of a lot more than they bargained for. And now her new brand's been turned into an invasion force bent on conquering the entire system. Funny how life works out. Oh yeah? What's needling you? Fair point. Guess Horizon Point didn't exactly foster a lasting fellowship, did it? All I heard about this moon called Eden ain't much lived up to the name, though. All jesting aside, what's there to tell? Spent the first year getting back up on my feet, literally. Been mostly laying low since then, maintaining my cover. Before the invasion, at least, the Earth Directorate still needed someone to watch the colony, and I had 2 working lamps. Not always. Went a couple of stretches there on low power to avoid detection from Protectorate patrols. I usually shut her down for a few cycles then. The way you're gawping at me right now makes me think I answered that question wrong. I appreciate the concern. Won't lie, had some hard years. Got caught up in a few lost causes, the particulars of which I'd rather not go into now, if it's all the same. I found you. Oh, and Val's been stalling less since I patched her acclimator. Ship doesn't smell anymore. That's about it. Spratwurst. I was trying to teach myself some new skills in the galley. Val got it into her hardware. I needed a hobby. I figured Spratwurst ain't an easy meal to mess up. Well, I learned about 20 ways how not to fix a worst. Like most colonies, good people being ground down from above. A lot of fancy talk from suits about streamlining and quarterly earnings while them on the line barely scrape by. Triangulum's known for churning out freighters, and shipbuilding ain't exactly known for being clean, safe work neither. Especially when corners get cut. Can't remember a time I didn't end the day all banged up, filthy, and smelling like I just crawled out of an exhaust port. You never forget your first time manually flushing a propulsion tank, do you? Funny thing was, I wasn't even an engineer back then. But I wanted to learn, so I paid attention. Too good of attention, as it turned out. I was working late one evening and overheard something I shouldn't have. Some bigwigs exchanging inside information that would have cost the corporation a pretty bit. A day later, I was being accused of corporate espionage. Didn't want to bring any heat down on anyone else, so I went on the run before the first jackboot showed up at my door. Oh, now, you'll have to tell me what those other things are sometime. I was on the run for, I don't even know how long. The days sort of bled into one another. I started losing hope of things ever changing for the better. Then, the Earth Directorate showed up. They liberated Triangulum, pulling me and the rest of the colony out from under the corporate boot. Joining up after that just made sense. I could ask you the same thing. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I'd gone back to my old life instead of becoming an agent. Stayed on Triangulum, become an engineer or something near to it. I knew joining up with the Earth Director wasn't going to be a life of low turbulence, but at least it'd have dignity and purpose to it. not much dignity in having your limbs blown off. Sorry, that was blunt. I'd say you've got cause enough yourself. 10 years lost ain't nothing to sniff at. But back to your initial question. Do I regret becoming an agent? Yeah, some days. But then there's days like the one when I found you, and... well, not much to regret there. Only thing I know for sure is my opinion today is colored by more than just the rosy tint of a low-run kid looking up at the stars. Life's not fair, but it keeps on. You buttering me up for a favor? I'll tell you right now, I'm not taking extra shifts cleaning the head. Ah, well then, thanks. Just hope that good opinion of me holds.
Nope. You and I need to have a chat. You pushed right past me and into the fray with those rats. Handled yourself well enough, but you can't go doing that on this island. You're lucky if the worst you come face to face with are malnourished beasts. What are you here for anyway? Oh, he hired you. To find details on mental refreshment, right? Well, I'm Inez Silong, former combat medic in the Enhanced Soldier Division, now menial troubleshooter. And that was my job you swept out from under me. I know, I ain't blaming you. That's part of climbing the ladder. Ain't but one rung at the bottom, and everyone's keen to get a foothold. They're always counting me out. Every single one of them. And now, they ain't even letting me finish the jobs they send me on. Kinda making it hard to prove myself here. And this rep didn't even have anything that could help my graft. This whole thing's a wash. Sick of it. If you had, you'd know. Unless you're accustomed to seeing folk roaming around with exposed muscle fibers or stunted extra limbs on their backs. Sorry. Guess I'm just used to folks staring real hard and then steering clear. I'm considered a liability. My graph's all wrong. Most everyone else who got one passed or became permanently incapacitated. So they shuttered the program. It was a total failure. Everyone in Fairfield reckons my time will come soon too. But I'm still mostly upright. For now. I just know I can do more for Auntie and for the war. It's just this damn contract. Unless I can amend it so I might fix my graft, proving myself ain't happening anytime soon. Weren't many of us grafted soldiers to begin with. To think I'm one of the lucky ones. No. Enhanced Soldier Division was the fancy public-facing name for the grafting program. And when I say it was shuttered, I mean completely fucking demolished. Bet they'd erase it from the financial records if they could. It was that much of an embarrassment. In the wake of such a failure, it's left us grafted folks with no support. I only been able to treat my own ailments thanks to Doc Tinsley in Fairfield. She worked for the program for a time. She's a good one. She's bound by contract to work on whatever task Fairfield's illustrious leader set her to, nothing else. But she also ain't quite got the hang of the employment thing. You looked at the fine print of an employment contract lately? It says any action taken by a worker that could result in impeded work must be approved by the contract holder. Not only would trying to fix my graft impede my work, but it's also financially unviable, unproven, a risky investment. So I'm stuck with a limb that's slowly poisoning me. Could pursue fixing it myself were I out of my contract, but if I attempted to end it, I'd have to waive all employment rights for the next year. That's a non-start. Let me put it this way. If I was already on the bottom rung, this knocks me clean off and buries me in sand. What I started from nothing before, I could do it again. Maybe. Ain't easy moving between companies, and I wasn't always with Auntie's choice. But that's a story for another time. Get the feeling you will. Think I'll head back to town myself and have words with Milverstreet. But don't let that impede you from collecting on this job.
Just me or the Inez on my companion? Tough like her. Shame she's with Auntie's choice.
Blah, blah. Taking care of citizens is developing possible customers. And come out here yourself, Milverstreet. Okay, that subject laughed after the first time we tried talking to him. If you're that new salesperson, don't bother. Whoever was here packed up and left. I just came out here to take boxes on Milverstreet's list. And it's defense. He's coming out to spot folk who ain't here no more, is he? If you're that new salesperson, don't bother. Whoever was here packed up and left. I just come out here to take boxes on Milverstreet's list. And it's
third drone in as many days. Where are the void damn things coming from? Not likely. I've been keeping my lamps open for these things ever since they started attacking. But thanks for the concern all the same. Of course, we could have staunched the flow of drones by now if Officer Kaur dispatched another patrol, as I requested. But no such luck. See, now that's the sort of initiative I've been missing around here. Take a gander at the bounty terminal, just left of the constabulary. You know, stranger, you seem more than qualified to finish off the drones. For a freelancer, that is. Find that bounty terminal, blast some drones, and show the Protectorate who's boss. Ideally in that order.
Would pulverizing them suffice? No, I couldn't liquefy them. Apply heat and congeal them into kibble no beast could resist. Oh, Ethel, darling, you're a genius. Approach with less haste next time, won't you? Copernicus may be tame, but he still doesn't take kindly to being startled. I am Ethel Tinsley, chimeric scientist. I'm responsible for taming this delightful raptidon here. He will protect our fair town from his feral brethren in the wilds. Theoretically. Officer Kaur has been in a state waiting for me to train the raptidons to, maul on command. It's rather pressing, and alas, one scientist-turned-tamer can only do so much. One might say I'm perhaps a bit on edge. Folk here have grown weary, shall we say, with the war effort. And with avoiding Kaur and the minister's would-be fisticuffs. If you too have spotted the chasm between them, I fear the Protectorate have already pinpointed the way with which to exploit it. I'm unused to the way things are done here, I suppose. The Protectorate leadership never behaved in such a manner. Which I would not mind if the threat of annihilation weren't hanging over us so. I am accustomed to decisive and unanimous action. Not this. And yet, I would much rather stay here, continue my work, and hope my leaders can reach an accord. Challenging though it may be, one wishes to woo Protectorate subjects to our ranks. The other wishes to secure a decisive victory with weaponry and technology. As for which approach is best, I wish I knew. I see. I hope his spirits may be sustained. I have grown fond of the Minister, but I cannot help but wonder if he fully understands how proud the Protectorate are. It takes great courage or desperation to acknowledge the wrongs of one's society, and even more to leave it entirely. He may find that courage to be rarer than he thinks, or perhaps he will manage to prove me wrong with his powers of persuasion yet again. Oh, I would welcome it in this case. Very well. I ought to focus more on my work than on social tensions anyhow. I work directly with Officer Kaur and her soldiers to ensure they're outfitted with the best Raptidon counterparts Paradise Island can provide. In theory, they'll be trusted to guard our most precious assets, including our leadership. For now, they deter encroachment from wild Raptidons. It's most agreeable. Trust me, they are safer here than out in the wilds. I have been reprimanded thrice now for undue pampering. I would not be here if this experiment was still causing needless suffering.
Well, if it ain't DB Milverstreet's newest sycophant. I'm Officer Babylon Kaur, and you can consider that introduction the start and end of our personable relationship. If you'd spoken with me like I suggested, mayhaps the two of us could bandy words, but you didn't. And taking sides with Milverstreet means I got no use for you.
You know well would not have been necessary had you completed your task in a timely manner.
How about that?
My, such aggression. Scarcely need add hostility to your list of inadequacies. Bad Trooper Sealong, no mind. The individuality encouraged by Auntie's choice sometimes inspires employees to speak out of turn. How has your progress been? Have you acquired what we discussed? Excellent! Pleased that someone in my employ can be relied upon. Here, have one of my finest suits as a token of thanks. May it aid in your capture of hearts and minds.
Again, you gave away my job and told my replacement to send me home. That don't make me wayward, and it sure as shit don't make me unreliable. If this contract weren't staying my hand, I reckon you'd be answering to it right about now.
You mean grant preferential treatment to a subpar contractor? And I suppose the bits for such a procedure shall simply manifest from the ether?
And if I die or leave, how do you reckon failure to retain an enhanced soldier would look to upper management, huh?
Please pay this disgruntled employee no mind. What would she do without Auntie's hand to guide her if she were unemployed? I should think death a preferable alternative.
That's it. I'd rather be a down-and-outer for the rest of my life than crushed under your counterfeit leather boa boot a second longer. I quit!
It most assuredly is not good for her. This is unheard of, and I might add, you'll not be welcome with an Auntie's choice once more. We'll not take a contract shirker back into our fold.
So you say, but Auntie's choice ain't seen a trooper like me before. You'll regret counting me out. Till then, I hope you choke on your mock apple martinis. And you, I got a proposition for you. Come find me when you're done with this clown.
She will most assuredly regret her decision. Most assuredly. But I suppose that is no longer my concern. Now, where were we? Oh, yes. The acquisition of this information is but the first part of my plan to bring our foes into the fold and to ensure my future. The second is my operation in Westport. Westport is a shell of the bustling town it was prior to the invasion, though a handful of Protectorate Yaysayers still cling to it. My plan requires their conversion. Verily. On to business. I've a kit of supplies to aid you, items to cajole or to dissuade. Sabotage the town or sway the citizenry. The choice is yours. Should pose no trouble for a go-getter like you. Shh. not so loud. The hat can tell when you're questioning it. The people of Westport don't trust me. How can they? I am the enemy. I am the invader. I cannot help these people achieve salvation until I know what it is they yearn for. You are a third party. You're presumably trustworthy. I need you to act on my behalf. I say if the situation is serendipitous, so much the better. Westport represents a challenge. The challenge presented by the majority of the Protectorate. Fairfield citizenry were given ample incentive to fold, for they could see the freedom we offer firsthand. But the people of Westport are stubborn enough to risk death for their ideals and cannot be swayed by the lights of Fairfield. Excellent. Here's the kit. Advertisement tapes, ambidextrine, assorted stimulants, free samples of Purple Berry Crunch, everything you need to wage war on the undecided mind. That I shall mark the locale. Begin with the vigilant Hogarth. Motivate him to depart, and his subjects will trot in file behind him woolly cow-like. Now, I'm sure you've asked yourself, for a task so involved, shall the reward be worthwhile? Well, wonder no longer. For the completion of this deed, I'm prepared to offer you an exact replica of my one-of-a-kind, limited production, gentle person's Oxonian. Then consider yourself officially deputized in the war to further innovation and the free market. Be forewarned. I can only guess at the needs of the denizens of Westport. You must engage with them, gauge their situation. Only then can you motivate them adequately. While I can't say for certain, I strongly suspect not. Westport no longer possesses any strategic value. The Protectorate has no reason to defend a half-sunken town. Still, I would come prepared with anything you think you might require. Paradise... Do I look like Officer Kaur to you? Guns.